You're listening to Where You Live with Gene Sullivan.
Welcome back to Where You Live. I'm Gene Sullivan, broadcasting from the True North Painting Studios. The show is brought to you by American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency, and Extreme Exteriors. You can count on Extreme Exteriors for expert installation of exterior siding, roofing, soffits, fascia, decks, windows, and more. With their knowledge and experience, they can design the perfect solution to make your home beautiful and energy efficient, saving you maintenance and money for years to come. Give them a call at 763-441-1334 and tell them Gene sent you. It's time now to hear from the Community Associations Institute. The CAI Minute is brought to you by New Concepts Rental Management. Whether you're an accidental landlord or a seasoned investor, New Concepts Rental Management can advise and guide you through every aspect of the business. Give us a call at 952-922-2500.
Are you a member of the Community Associations Institute? For nearly 40 years, CAI has provided education and resources to volunteer homeowners who govern community associations and the professionals who support them. Visit caionline.org to learn more. The address again is caionline.org. CAI helps community associations board members by providing online resources, in-person training, and hard copy publications written by association management experts. CAI offers community managers professional development, networking opportunities, and a certification program that is established as the industry standard nationwide. Minnesota has its own chapter of the Community Associations Institute to bring resources and tools from community associations around the country right to your home. Visit www.cai-mn.com to learn more and become a member of CAI today. Your community and management company will benefit from your involvement. Join the Community Associations Institute today at cai-mn.com and click on membership.
If you're just joining us, our guest today on the show is a retired veteran, Mr. Larry Murphree from Jacksonville, Florida. You've probably seen him in the news. He's battling his homeowners association on an issue of how the American flag can be displayed in front of his home. And so, Mr. Murphree, I wanted to ask you now, you stated that you went ahead and made this a federal case right away, and you took it to the federal courts. They threw it back, and they said, hey, this is not where it ought to be. Let me ask you this. This all started with the HOA giving you probably a notice or a letter. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And now, when they did that, did you attend any board meetings to discuss this matter with the board?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and what was being stated at that time?
Well, I read both wrote a letter stating that the federal law says I can. The last two governors in Florida passed bills that said the American flag can be displayed, with certain regulations like say it can't have a chain clanking all day and all of that, any reasonable display.
Well, the state of Florida, where you live, also has a state statute concerning this as well.
Yeah, like I say, two governors signed two separate bills, both saying basically the same thing.
Well, except they do go on here, and it says here what we're talking about is Florida State Statute 720.304. It says any homeowner may display one portable, removable United States flag or official flag of the state of Florida. It also could be the United States Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine,
right.
Coast Guard, POW, MIA flag. And it has a size restriction, and
right.
It says regardless of the covenants.
Right.
But it does give the association some understanding as to what would be, or some leeway and authority into discerning what is a proper or improper display of the flag.
Correct.
And so the association, it sounds like they're saying that they're just upset, not the fact that you have a flag, but they didn't think that it was properly being displayed.
Well, they asked me about that one time, and I said, well, apparently you've never been to a military cemetery where they have the little flag sticking in the ground. I said, same thing. This thing stays out 24/7. It's not like I love my country just during the daylight hours or good weather. And they just would not hear it. They think, and well, I did stop and say, okay, I will take the flag out if you tell me HOA rules supersede state and federal law. And they couldn't say that. So
well, you were putting them in a box here. You came out with something here, a press release here. You said that here you said all I want is to be able to display my flag in my flower pot on my porch.
right.
And they will just not allow it under any circumstance. Well, the association came out with a press release, and they said the association has not prohibited any owner from properly displaying an American flag. And it said, so what do you say to the association's press release? They said, as long as it's properly displayed, we haven't prohibited anybody. So you're saying that there's nobody else in your association that's displaying a flag?
In the houses, they have them there. What they did, they came out and they say, okay, what size the flag can be, how many inches it can be mounted to the right of the door. It will be taken in every night, and if it's raining, you got to take it down. All of these restrictions that mine stays out all the time.
Okay. Now,
And I didn't want to get up in the morning and put the flag up, and then if I go off and it starts raining, they get bent out of shape. Or if I go out and spend the night at the grandkids, not planned on it, well, it'd be up all night, and then again you'd get another nasty letter.
well, you do have, I mean, that is, if you take a look at what the United States government says, what is proper displaying of the United States flag, if you don't have a light on it, it says that you must take it down at sunset.
Correct.
Otherwise, you're not showing the proper respect. And so you're saying that, well, I don't care if I'm gone, then that's I'll just do what I want to do.
Well, if I go off somewhere and spend the night, not planned, I can't do that. I have to come all the way back over here and take the flag down. So that's if I had it out front, like they say, they came up with a flag regulation because still trying to get me to take mine down.
Now
The flag can be just so many feet, can be mounted such and such, and again, it's got to be brought in at night.
Now you said earlier here, or this was on the, I guess the interview you had on Fox and Friends. You said the association is calling my flag an unauthorized object, but the association in their press release said, we don't prohibit people from properly displaying the American flag. You also went on in that interview to say if any of them, meaning the board, said that they served in the military, I'd ask what side. I've got to ask you, sir, how does this promote goodwill or trying to work towards a proper compromise with your homeowner association, which is basically made up of other neighbors living in close proximity with you, and you all have shared common elements that you're all equally own and are responsible for? How does this work towards compromise when you make statements like that?
They have never contacted me. It's always their attorney talked to me. They've never asked me to sit down after that first meeting where I told them that state and federal law says I can do this.
But in all fairness, you also said that you made it a federal case by going to federal court. Soon as you start suing someone, instead of trying to work with the association, you put someone else in a hard place. They can't just talk, informally with you now because you've made it a bigger deal.
Well, that's true. They've sent out a newsletter out here to all the residents that it had nothing to do with the flag, that the whole thing was because I hadn't paid my dues. And I've lost a lot of friends. They say, "Oh, you're a deadbeat. Why aren't you paying your dues?" And I said, they paid automatically, but they diverted my funds.
But you also stated that you stopped making payments to the association.
After they refused to take our money to apply it to the dues.
But when you agreed,
everything else.
But when you agreed to live in the auspices of a homeowners association, you read the governing documents and you read what your responsibility was.
Correct.
And the same thing, and I can tell you in property management, I can tell you, sir, in just about every state, whether it's a homeowners association or even with a renter who doesn't like what's happening with their landlord, you don't have the ability to say, well, I'm going to just set the money aside. You need to go to court. You need to make that a court order so that the court now puts things in escrow until things get resolved. I know that's how it's done here in Minnesota, but you didn't do that. It doesn't seem like you are wanting to work with the homeowners association, and so to me it seems like this has really gotten much more blown out of proportion than what it should have been.
They went before a judge to try to get a gag order on me so that I would not talk to people like you or the press or anybody else. And, of course, the judge threw it out. But my only way to fight back...
Well, that has nothing to do with the fact that you quit making payments to the association, and that puts your other neighbors in a hard place.
Okay. 2 weeks ago, my attorney wrote their attorney and stated a proposal. Mr. Murphree will bring all all HOA dues complete. He will be placed back on the automatic checking account. Late fees will be paid. Attorney fees up to a certain amount. And the fifth thing was no foreclosure action will be instituted by the HOA or their subsidiaries. The response we got back was, that the attorney said, again, the association board of directors has instructed me to proceed with foreclosure on the property as a result of past due assessments.
All right.
We were going to pay everything, but they're starting a foreclosure on my property. So their game plan is to take my house, take the equity I've built here, destroy my credit, leave me with a house full of furniture and no home to put it in.
Okay. Well, Mr. Murphy, it doesn't, as stated before here, this whole thing certainly has just been blown out of proportion. And to me, part of it certainly stems from the fact of making this a huge case. You're the one that's trying to, instead of trying to work out with neighbors some sort of resolution and compromise, you're the one that's taking it and making it, like I said, a federal case, making it a big issue. And to me, it seems, I hope it gets it gets settled here. But I've got to tell you, there looks like there's some stubbornness. I've got to say maybe on both parts here, but it takes two to tango, sir.
Well, like I say, we offered to pay all of this stuff, and they're just hell-bent on getting me and the flag out of the neighborhood. So that's why they're doing the foreclosure. We agreed to pay all this stuff, but they won't do it.
Well, Mr. Murphree, thank you for taking time to being on the show today. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you for letting me.
That was Mr. Larry Murphree. Don't go away. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we have an attorney down in Florida who's going to weigh in on this matter as well. So don't go away.